Hi, I'm Susan Winter for SusanWinter.net. Now, older women and younger men, you've heard me and seen me tell you all the praises of this romantic model, and it's true. One viewer wrote in and said, you haven't talked about the real issue, which is children. And she was right. Although I have about 65 articles on my website that the viewer never saw, this has been a major discussion on my website. So much so, the issue of children, I literally had to shut down the comments. I had 980 questions on this topic, and I'd already written the answers in the articles. So here is the story of children, and it is the only red flag. And now it's time that we talk about it. So older women and younger men, there's never an issue with the age. If there's a breakup, it's because, like any other couple, they just went separate ways or something happened in life and they grew apart. But there is one serious consideration that you have to have if you're an older woman who's falling in love with a younger man, or you're a younger man intent upon dating an older woman, and that is the issue of children. Because it is the one place where the age difference is mismatched if the younger man wants children. But fortunately, there are only 3 categories of men that I've found in all my research. It's very simple, and guys, you need to know which one you are before you date an older woman. Well, you need to know which one you are in general before you date any female, but especially if you're going to date an older woman. So here are the 3 categories of men. 1, those who know they have to have children. 2, those that don't want children. Or 3, those who will do whatever their partner prefers. So here's how it rolls out. The situation number 1, the guy that has to have children. Now, this is a fundamental in his life. There are men who, yes, they adore the idea of a partner, and of course they want to love a woman. But really, the real reason for him getting involved and making a commitment to a woman is because he has an ideal life in mind, a fantasy, a family and children. And this is non-negotiable for him. This is his image of partnership, and he has got to have it. And if you are that guy and you know this, do yourself a favor, don't date an older woman. Yeah, I know you think it's going to be easy breezy. Oh, it's just a cougar, we'll hook up. You have no idea what you're stirring up in there. What you think is easy breezy could come back and bite you big time. And the same is true with the ladies. You see a luscious young guy and you think, oh, okay, I'll just fool around with him, it'll be fun. The love, the potency of this dynamic can be so powerful that you can find yourself in a real issue, because if you've had your children or you never wanted them, this guy needs to have them. And then you'll be in the situation like the 980 emails that I got on the same subject. I'm worried that I'm going to lose him, so I better have children, but I don't want to have children. Okay, number 1, we never make a decision against what's good for us to save our relationship with a man. We never make a compromise to save a man, to save his love. That is not the way you have children. You have children because you have a burning desire to want them for yourselves. Because the women that are teetering on this choice to satisfy their lover, to keep him, are doing themselves the greatest disservice. And if the guy bails because their intention wasn't correct and the female wasn't coming in from the right direction, you not only have 2 lives that have been upset, you have 3. So, if you have the option, do not date somebody who has a fundamental difference in this primary big consideration. 2, the guy who doesn't want children. This is kind of novel because I know even 10 years ago, men were reluctant to say out loud, I don't want children. Even women. There is an overarching belief that if you say you don't want children, you're mean, you're selfish. There are some people who know that's not their path. They're not mean people. They find ways to nurture in other areas. But if you are a man who doesn't want children, if you're a woman who doesn't want children, who meets a man who's younger who doesn't want children, this is perfect. This is the ideal setup. Guys, You know the time clock you've been put under with other women, like who want to hurry you up because their biological clock is ticking? You don't have that with an older woman. You don't have her pressing you for, where's this going? I want to be married by 31. Your biggest concern is gone. And you are in the right kind of a relationship with a woman that does not have that goal either. So this is a very good connection. The third kind of man is the guy who will do as his partner prefers. And I've known these guys before. They got divorced, they had their kids, or maybe they have never had a marriage, but whether they have children or not is a secondary concern to the most important, which is the woman. The woman is the thing that's important. She's my partner. If she wants kids, yeah, I'll have them. If she doesn't, that's fine, because he wants you more than anything else. This is also an agreeable connection. So the issue of children in the first case scenario, the man who has to have them, that cannot be changed. And I have seen this roll out in many different ways. Women keep asking me, will he come back? Can he come back? I have seen that happen. I have seen him leave. I've seen him leave and marry a younger woman and have his children. And he's walking through the emotions of being there. And I've heard from these guys telling me, my heart is still with my older partner. I don't know why I thought I wanted this. I mean, I love my kids. It's everything I wanted, but without her, it doesn't mean anything. And so there's heartache on both ends. There are also guys that say, I have to have kids. And they go out and they date. And they date and they date. And they finally, sometime years later, come back and say, I don't care. I want you. But what I'm saying is, if the issue is children and it's fundamental, I cannot promise you the outcome. If the guy really wants children and you know you can't or you won't, this is an issue. And you have to discuss this in detail and consider it clearly. Don't think just because you love each other it's going away, because it doesn't. It is the only known issue that I see with older women and younger men, that you must be aligned on this front. So please try to do your homework. And listen, there are cases where people have written me, they were together 15 years, the guy was cool with not having kids. Suddenly she's in perimenopause and now he wants children. If you're the woman and you can get your man to get very clear and commit to that, and you know it's really not for you, he's really decided it within himself, you're going to stand in good stead. But people do sometimes change. So I need to tell you that this is a tricky transit for anyone. So please make sure that the issue of children has been really covered and that you know exactly where your partner stands and they won't vacillate, because it will be the only thing that could really knock down this kind of loving relationship. And I hope that helps you. And by the way, I have hundreds of articles on my website dedicated only to older women and younger men. So if you want to know about family and children and you want to read about the 3 types of men, please come to susanwinter.net and go to the article section that says older women, younger men. Thank you very much.